CBS 21 Political Insiders with Rob Hanrahan.
Welcome back. We're joined by our political insiders, Democratic strategist Joe Powers, and for Mark Singal, who is continuing his world tour right now, and Charlie Giroux, of course, a Republican strategist. Very important address from the governor today about his budget plan. So, Joe, I'll let you take the reins here. What did you think of his address? What do you think of his plan?
First of all, the thing that struck me the most was how well he was getting along with the Republican leadership, both before the speech and after the speech. A lot of nice things said back and forth. I think that he is really focusing on the things that matter to him, particularly education and workforce development. He's coming off two big wins. He's won 2 elections by 9% and 15%. He has a mandate.
He also wants a lot more money, Charlie. Imagine you were thinking about that.
Well, I mean, he doesn't want a lot more, to be very candid. This is a budget that's relatively tame. I think Joe is right. The tone today was set properly. I think the governor is cognizant of the fact that the legislature has a mandate too, and theirs may not be the same as his. So there are a couple of areas of disagreement, but I don't think they're huge. We might actually get a budget passed close to on time this year, but there's still that looming budget deficit that's got to be addressed, and that really wasn't brought up today, which I thought was kind of interesting, nor was the fact that the governor last week called for an additional tax on Marcellus Shale development, and that, I think, is going to be a bugaboo in all of this.
And I say just let the games begin. We'll be talking about this every day now, from now until the time to pass it comes up. Tonight, the State of the Union address, President Trump. Joe, do you expect any theatrics from the Democrats as far as when to applaud, when not to applaud, when to stand, when to sit? What will Nancy... There's been a lot of focus today on Nancy Pelosi's face. People are going to be watching that more than the address, actually.
Well, I guess there's a reason for that.
It's an important moment for Democrats.
It is. I don't think we'll see a lot of theatrics. I don't think there'll be support for some of the things that the president will be saying. Traditionally, presidents say the State of the Union is good. Not many Americans agree with him. Only about 28% think we're going in the right direction. So he will try to make his case. There was a lot of talk today about comedy, about getting along with each other. You can't send out tweets every day attacking Democrats and then expect to be best buds through one speech. It will not happen.
Charlie, it's going to be interesting, but the State of the Union has turned into a much different thing than it used to be. Of course, you're a historian, you know. But, I mean, we've got the response, Democratic response. We have Bernie Sanders because he's an independent. It's become like the Super Bowl of politics.
I mean, well, the run-up is bigger than the run-up to the Super Bowl, and it always exceeds the event itself. I mean, not much is remembered of many State of the Union messages, but the president has a real opportunity tonight to seize the reins of the public discussion. If he offers up a reasonable deal on immigration, and I think he will, that addresses the dreamers but also gets money for the wall or barrier, whatever you want to call it now, I think he puts the Democrats in a real box, because then they're going to appear as obstructionists and simply resistance movement folks if they don't take up that discussion. I think he'll also bring up infrastructure, and I think he may give a hint at a trade deal with China, which would be a big plus for him.
Joe, final word on what you expect tonight?
Well, on the infrastructure, we've seen this movie before and it has not happened. Somebody has to find out a way to pay for the infrastructure, and that's where the fight's going to be.
All right. And the great thing is, these guys are going to be here tonight in our late news to talk about what he actually said and what went down at the State of the Union. It's going to be a big one. Watch it right here on CBS 21 tonight. And you can also hear more from our insiders every Sunday morning at 8:30 on CBS 21's Face the State.